Welcome back everyone to another training weekend. This week you'll be watching the Commonwealth Games training camp, which took place over Saturday, Sunday a few weeks ago. And so it's a relatively short video. We have just arrived at Birmingham yesterday, had our first training session today. I'm in the process of going through my Commonwealth kit to see if I need to change any sizes, because sometimes things don't fit. We had our first entry into the training gym today. Everything is white, everything's Gym Nova, and we're about to leave for our second session in half an hour or so. So I thought I'd make a quick little vlog to catch up, because I'm quite a few weeks behind. So I included I think most of the routines that myself, Sam and Will performed at the mock competition. And from what I remember, I went and did my usual mistake on my dismount. Yep, ripping the takeoff early, not squeezing all the way through and getting no dismount. Since I do a front layout full twist for the side row, that would give me no dismount, as front full and front 1.5 are in the same box. So if I do that here in the games, I'm pretty, well, screwed would be the right term. Let's see how Will went. I missed if he landed his double pike or not. Sam and Will destroyed floor today. I'm kind of there just warming up in the corner, doing my little old man stretches, and Sam and Will are doing their full tumbling rows. They liked the floor, they felt good. And it was impressive considering we were on a plane for 19.5 hours from Auckland to Dubai. We did have a stop in Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur, but they didn't let us get off the plane. So we're sitting in the plane for another hour and a half or so before it took off again to go to Dubai. From Dubai, it was another 7.5 hours, I think, to Birmingham. And then upon arrival at Birmingham, you have to, there's quite a big process. Every single athlete has to get tested. The wait time was 1.5 hours after getting tested before you got the result, and then you get shipped into the village. And the village is beautiful. Some of you probably would have already seen the stories on my Instagram, but where we are is at the Birmingham University campus. I think there are 3 villages scattered around in all kind of a similar location, and we ended up in a very nice place. So I'm sure I'll include more of that later on in a Commonwealth video. So after a huge, what was it, almost 2 days of travel, we passed out so fast, and surprisingly Sam and Will were just all over that floor in the training gym. We had the whole gym to ourselves. Yeah, there was no one there. So we're expecting that more countries will start to show up probably right now in the evening session. Pommel horse. Last Commonwealth Games was in Gold Coast 2018. New Zealand started on pommel horse, and let's just say we under-delivered. I think all but one of us either fell or had a big mistake. If I remember correctly, I didn't quite get my dismount up very well. So, and that's looks like gonna be what Will's challenge is gonna be at this Games on horse. It's a fight at the end of the routine against those nerves. You know that if you haven't messed up until that point, you know that you're so close to making a whole set. All you have is the dismount, and inevitably you start clinching when all you got to do is just push down, relax a little bit, and let the circle flow, move the circle around. and that took many years for me to get better at. I'm still not a master at it. I still kind of hold back a bit because my swing on the single handle is not so great. Wow, went for an E dismount. Sometimes if I'm in the center, I know I'll be okay to travel back in the handstand. Not all the time though. Usually at the end of a routine, I just want to get off and make sure I finish cleanly. I had some needles in my delt after that, what I thought was a tight bicep. And even though my bicep did have quite a bit of tension, once I got my middle delt needled and a bit of rear delt, that whole, well, since then really, my shoulders felt a lot better. So I think a lot of my shoulder pain comes from my delts being really tight. Sam Dick on the rings. There you go. Maybe if you notice that Sam really flattened out that Maltese, comparing it to the weeks before this one where the feet were a bit high. And Sam is strong enough literally to just make a change like that straight away. Too bad about the Yamawakis. Gassed out. It happens. Keep telling Sam, you can't warm up like that. When you're warming up over hard, landing on your back is gonna hurt. But although I noticed today they do have a big kind of 30 centimeter mats that we can use. So if Sam wants to, he can land flat on his back. But you do see a few guys. I remember I saw Igor Radovilov from Ukraine. I saw Andrei Medvedev from Israel. They like to do sort of a handspring front layout, rollout for the vault warm-up. So if you can see over there to the right, we had Gareth and Matt Palmer judging us. And Gareth again has been to I think every single Commonwealth Games that I've been to, and he judges at Olympics, he judges at World Championships, and he's kind of taken Matt Palmer and a couple other upcoming mag judges under his wing. Matt Palmer works at TriStar. He does a little bit of coaching there, so whenever we have any questions or anything we don't understand about rules, or we can always go to Matt. More often than not, he'll have the answer. So let's see how P-Bar went on this day. Those hand shuffles are never good, but sometimes you just gotta do them. A little bit of legs there, but finished in the handstand really nicely. Not quite, but I'm impressed with myself that I still managed to go for the second half of that Makuts, even though the first part was just way off. Bit of legs there as well. Oh, and tucks the dismount, rough routine. One thing I'm happy with in this build-up is the amount of all 6 run-throughs that I managed to do. in that turn, Sam lost the timing of his giant, so decided to start over. But usually for most of my gymnastics life, I've been very careful building up to all around, almost doing the bare minimum, to be honest, which, you know, it's not a good thing, but I've always been very careful not to get injured, because I went through a period where I was getting injured really easily. I'm not sure why. So the amount of all-around mock competitions that I did, I'm really happy with. So I should have some fitness in the tank. We should be starting on floor, although we haven't actually had a final confirmation what we're starting on, but we're assuming it's floor, so we will be finishing on high bar. And of course, parallel bars and high bar are my two apparatus where my routines are quite long. So having that all-round endurance is going to be really important. I think the video should probably finish after this routine, unless I included Coach's Corner, but I better get ready for this next training session. And you know what, I think I'll do like a video a day to catch up on all these weeks that have gone by. A video a day would be nice, and I got lots of time here, there's not too much going on. So stick with us. We compete on Friday, today is Saturday, so we got just under a week to prepare. Podium training is on Tuesday. Yeah, podium training is on Tuesday, and then we're off. Day one, team qualification, no, team finals, and then qualifications for everything else will be on Friday. This was the next day's training session, where we just did a bunch of little fix-ups and things like that. And actually on this day we met, there was a big get-together with a lot of the ex-Commonwealth Games athletes and previous New Zealand national team members. We met a lot of them and had a really good discussion in like a question and answer sort of format. And it went all the way back to, I think Mike Ranger would be the most kind of experienced over there. He must have been going maybe in the 50s or 60s. I'm probably way off, but yeah, there was a lot of generations of experience in that room. And I wish we recorded a video. That's Mike Ranger over there, the OG, we call him. Him and Martin Gotts, I think, were the TriStar OGs. So enjoy the rest of the video, and if we've got enough time, we'll post every day. Until next time.